Thanks for being here. First, I want to, it seems like I'm always doing this, apologizing for such a delay from between videos. Um, just a lot going on, a lot of energy, as you know, a lot of things happening. Um, I probably will do another short video unrelated to this, and because I think it's very important, it's very urgent right now, especially now. But this one, I want to do part two of my experiences, specifically, that I've had with uh, other beings. I'll say that other beings, whether you want to call them ETs, you call them angelic forces, you want to call them or however you want to call them. Now, I will say that ETs, other beings, can be either physical or they can be light. Okay. So, what we may perceive as looks like it's light being, it could be, or it could be their consciousness, their physical, they could be physical in another realm. Okay. So, this is when you're dealing with dimensions and different areas of realms that you get in a lot more, it's a lot more gray color, I would say. So it depends on the frequency and the existence of the beings that exist, okay? So they could be light beings, or we're all light beings, I should say. We're all light bodies. However, there are those who are, I will separate it this way, and truly there's no separation, but there is uh, those who have an individual experience as an individual being, even though they're part as of the creator of the whole. Okay. So there are many beings that are having an individual experience that are on other planets, other dimensions, whether they're existing in more of a spirit form or whether they're existing in more of a lighter physical body. These bodies are very dense and very, very heavy. So they are very much probably one of the heaviest, densest uh, bodies we can use in this because, existing in the third dimension. Um, there are those who are at the creator level, or I should say at the home level. I'll call it home. Home is where all those that are existing as light their light bodies are existing in one. If you want to look at it as like a big bubble, a big orb, that are not experiencing an individualistic. They are individual portions of the creator, but they're not out there in other planets or that experiencing. Okay, so I wanted just to say that. Before I go into my experiences, I will try to do this in one video. I can't guarantee because there's a couple of experiences that I had that are very long experienced, especially one, and I will go into that. But please, if you haven't, like or subscribe if you haven't already. Please share this video. I think it's important to bring awareness to people to let them know that beings that are there to love and support us. That's what they're here for. You can call them, like I said, angelic beings. You can call them other ETs. You can call them however you want. Okay. I've had experience with both polarities, both negative and both positive. So please, share the video if you have, subscribe if you haven't, like, comment. I appreciate that very, very much. Again, this is just to bring awareness to people, to let them know there's no fear here, because this is who we are. Okay, so first, I've had many, and I've had many experiences, but I have just summarizing some of the ones that I felt were, I'm not saying more important, but I want to just say that they are just some of them that really stood out for me. Okay, I've had many telepathic communications between other beings. Many. I have a journal that I have kept that has probably 600 pages typed of information that I've channeled, just information that I've got from the Arcturians, from Palladians, from excuse me, sorry, I got took on my throat. From Palladians, from uh, Arcturians, from Jesus, Sananda, from the angelic realm, from Ashtar command, from uh, many other different beings, from the Cassiopeans. I've gone, other realms, other existences that you might not have heard of, Andromedans, that are common people have heard of, Syrians. So, so I've had a lot of when I would do a lot of meditation, I would see beings in my room more as they almost look like translucent, like you can see through them. They were kind of spirit form almost, but they had a shape to them. Okay, and these looked like little ETs. They were so adorable, and they were, and I can't remember the race of beings that they were, because there was a couple that I've never even heard of, but it was cute because while I was meditating, they would be talking to me. And most of these experiences started into 2014. Um, and I still have experiences, although it's not as extensive as I used to. I think part of it is because what I've been told is they've stepped back a little bit because of the enormous amount of energy that's coming in and the uncertainty of not really more of just the energy of humanity in general. So, um, anyway, I will say that these beings were very adorable, and adorable. I just mean they were so innocent because they were. I could see figures on my bed, and I could see them, and I was barefoot, and this was cute because it made me giggle. It just shows you how sweet and adorable that and innocent some of these beings are. Um, they came to me and they just had such a beautiful childlike energy, just innocence. And they were admiring my feet. Okay, so I was kind of laughing at that because he said, "Your appendages, your feet are you consider your feet are very weird looking to us." And I said, "Well, don't you have feet at all?" And they said, "Yes, but ours aren't. We don't have all those little appendages like the toes, and we got fingers and that." So it was cute. So these beings uh, one time, um, I apologize, the garbage truck's out here, so it's kind of a little bit louder, the recycle. Um, so I apologize if you hear some noises. Uh, so, so I've had a lot of those type of experiences. I've also had an experience a few times with beings that were probably about 4 foot tall. They look like people would say, well, they look like the Greys a little bit, but these had more of a, I don't know how to describe it. They said they were from Inner Earth or Andromeda. I can't remember which one because there was two different ones, but they had very, very light blue skin. I could see them in my third eye. I could see them also many times I would be meditating, um, and I would feel a presence, and I would look, and in the doorway, I would see a little head peeking around the doorway. They had small eyes like humans would. They had beautiful blue eyes. They had a tiny, teeny kind of a nose and a very tiny mouth, uh, a palate, I guess you would say, not, no lips or that. And the ears, there was no ears. They were more, I guess, little holes there. Um, and so they were uh, just the most beautiful, loving energy that one of the most loving energies I've experienced because had such an innocence about them as well that they were here to just experience and share their energy and also experience our energy. So I would talk with them just things like where they were from, why they were here. And they were here to, like I said, help those of us who are uh, going through this shift, who are awakened. They are trying to get it's basically just more curiosity, but also to help with the energies, okay? Um, then I've had other beings, and I'm just going to go into, since I'm on the inner earth, I'm trying to keep in order here what I'm talking about here. Um, I had beings that I met. They're from the Anshar. The Anshar, you might have heard of. Corey Good has talked about them. And they exist. They look similar to us, maybe a little bit taller. Some of them have blue skin, dark hair. Uh, some of them have lighter colored hair, but they look very similar to a human being. Um, you would notice a difference for some of them because of some of them, like I said, a bluish skin, and little to what people realize, one of the earlier civilizations in the beginning of on humanity here had actually light blue skin. So that is actually a commonality. It is a trait. Um, so these had inner earth beings were very benevolent. I've seen them mainly in my third eye. So when I would communicate with them, it was mainly a telepathic, and I could see them talking to me. And they showed me part of the inner earth realm through like more of an no, I would say remote viewing. And it was absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. There was crystals that lined hallways that lit up the hallways. I wouldn't say hallways, but tunnels that went through. And there were like amethyst type crystals. There were other crystals that would just create a natural glow of light to guide you through. And there were like different rooms in this inner earth. And I was just seeing, I can't, it's so hard to describe because there were like things carved out of natural part of the earth that were like there was a fountain in one room, like a fountain that was more of it was more of a nourishment, is what I would say, kind of a central point where they would meet. Uh, I don't know how to describe it. It's so different, and that's the hard thing when you are trying to describe another race, what they do. It's so hard to compare it to the human aspect because it's totally different. We've never experienced something like that, uh, or we don't remember it at least. So they had asked if I wanted to help them in a sense, and it was very strange because I had I said I had offered I would to. It was more after the shift, is what I was understood, and. Sorry, I apologize. I'm kind of rambling. I'm trying to remember the exact what they said, but it was more of just kind of the help afterwards, where they would take me in with the inner earth and experience. Now, they were coming around for a while and talking, and for probably a period of a week or 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden they just were gone. And then I never heard back. So I'm not sure something was going on or uh, I didn't quite understand. It's hard because a lot of them come and go, and it just depends on the energies that are happening on the earth. So I'll leave it at that. I'm just trying to give an overview. I don't want to go too much details because then that gets bogged down, and I don't want the uh, the video too long here. Okay, so the other ones I've channeled many times, the Arcturians and the Pleiadians, and I've gotten a lot of information about Earth changes, things that are happening. Back in 2014, I get a lot of information about very detailed information about what the Earth was going to go through, and then I did, but it wasn't quite sure how soon because when you get sometimes channeled information, you get it where you don't know if it's going to happen within weeks or within months or years out. And this actually, most of the stuff that I got information on that I had gotten in 2014, 2015 from the Arcturians and Pleiadians that were actually happening now. So we're going through a lot of this very, I want to say almost like unbalanced energy, because people are such different at different spectrums right now. So I've channeled them many, many times. I don't want to go into all the channelings because there's so much information. I'm happy to share some of it in the future on another video, but I just want to share the kind of the experiences that I've had. Okay, so let's go into when I was reading a book about an author who had experienced one of the races, the serpent race, and they are kind of related to the reptilian race. They are kind of more, how do I say, they come across more as in the middle. They're really, the being that I came across was more, I didn't feel threatened. I felt more curiosity when he came through, because when I was reading this book, this experience by this man, this author who had experience with the serpent race, they were showing him things and they were very friendly to him. Now, when the being came through to me, and a lot of times you'll attract that energy when you are reading about these beings or you're putting your thought into, let's say if you're reading about the Pleiadians or the Arcturians or other races, and you're putting your thought and your energy into it, you will attract them, okay? So this being came through, and he was curious, and I was talking to him, and I didn't feel threatened. And then there was a period of probably about a week's time, where I was communicating, and I could hear him through my, I would say, clairaudience. It's kind of like when you speak with spirits that come forward to mediums, that, it's the same thing. And he said, right, one night, and this is where it just stopped. He just he didn't come forward after that. But one night, and I must have been where I felt my higher self, my guides or my higher self felt threatened, because I heard he was saying, "You're hurting me, you're hurting me." And I said, "Well, I'm not doing anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I'm not hurting you at all." And he goes, "That's too much. I don't like it." And he's like, and he was gone. And what I was told was, it was more of a protection from my higher self was sending him love and light, and he couldn't handle it. So it was too strong for him. So he left. So I never heard back from him. So yeah, some things, I've had a lot of definitely interesting experiences. There are times I was house sitting for a friend, and I saw a reptilian being outside, physical. I wasn't scared per se. I was a little, whoa, you're kind of shocked, but I tried to keep very calm, and I tried to, and this was at night, and I could see him in the little bit of distance on the edge of the, I would say the edge of the property line, and I can clearly make out what he was, and he didn't communicate, but he was just more curious, but there was a lot of protection around me, so I didn't feel threatened. It was more of a curiosity again, and I just tried to stay in my heart space and just know that I was going to be fine. I knew I was protected, but I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel, and you try not to show that fear, even though it's kind of shocking when you see something like that. So that was the experience with I would say, reptilian being, one of the experiences. The other experience I had was one of I was meditating, and all of a sudden I seen, and I thought this was very funny. It was cute, and I'm not making fun. I just thought it was cute. Uh, I saw a reptilian being was curious about me when I was meditating. I could see him in my third eye. He was dressed. He was dressed in a wig, and he was a long blonde wig, and he was dressed in a dress. And I said, so I said to him, "What are you? Why are you dressed like that?" And I got the feedback from him that I don't want to cause alarm to you or scare you. I'm just curious about you. I thought it was cute. It was like where he was trying to look at it from uh, where you are looking out for somebody else's uh, feelings, basically. You know what I mean? So he was I thought it was just very cute. I thought it was one of the most, it was very cute. I didn't feel threatened at all. And he was just trying to come across um, as innocent. So yeah, so take it as that. Um, okay, so I will go into, oh boy, I'm going to try to wrap this up because I will have to do another video because there's the big experiences that I had, the really big ones. I really won't have, this video would be way too long, so I will make another part to this. I will not leave it as long as this one, as time frame. So the other experience I had, I was living in Madison. This was, I would say, was 2015, 2015, 2014, maybe before that. It was 2013, maybe. I can't remember. And I was sitting up in bed reading, and one of the bedside lamps was on next to me, and my cat was sleeping at the foot of the bed. My partner, spouse, was sleeping next to me, and all of a sudden, this very bright light came through the window, and immediately there was this tall, I would say 5 foot tall, 5'1", 5'2", no more than that. I would say he was a Zeta being. And if you haven't seen Zetas are actually, most people think that they're negative. They're not. There are those who are from the past Zetas that have been here, that have been controlled by kind of our government, secret government, and shadow government, or however you want to call it. They are more, I would say, they're unevolved. This was a Zeta, I would say, I didn't feel threatened. I wasn't sure why he was there, but he came in and he just appeared instantly within the bedroom. And he had the big black eyes. The head was a little bit bigger, but it came down. I know it's hard to explain. There was like a shading. There was like it's hard to describe. I would have to show a picture. But I looked and I stopped, and it was weird because my cat and my spouse didn't move. They were both just totally out. They did not wake up. They did not move. It was like time froze. And I said to the being, I said, don't ask me why I said this. It just came out like it. I said, you look different than I thought you would. And he looked at me. He froze. His hands were up like this. And he looked at me. And then he just, boom, I was out. Don't remember at all. No idea. I haven't gotten really any more information on that besides he was there. I did a QHHT session and a channeling session with a friend, and the only thing I got was he knew me. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that because I'm already going at 24, 25 minutes here. please, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching this video. I will do part 3 that will have the other experiences. Again, I don't want to, this is already, it's hard enough to keep I know how long videos and people are like, oh, this is a long video. I don't know if I can want to watch it all. So I'm trying my best to keep it to a point here. And I know I'm rambling. I apologize. I really do. I just want to bring awareness to this. So much love to you all. Thank you for watching. I will probably do a short, urgent type message I got in a separate quick video. So love you all. Thank you.